Yet another project. My daughter-in-law had this EzGo golf cart parked out in the yard for a number of years, and she's recently moving into a new house, and I couldn't just let it sit, so I went over there with the trailer and picked it up. As it turns out, about 5 years or so ago, she spent some money on this thing. Brand new tires, brand new batteries. It's actually is in pretty good shape. It was kind of a mess when I picked it up from her, but it cleaned up nice. It happens to be a relatively high-end golf cart. It's an EzGo TXT, but it's what they call a precision drive system. And what this means is that it actually has regenerative charging. When you take your foot off the accelerator and you're coasting, it actually puts voltage back into the batteries. It's pretty high tech. It's a 2005 golf cart. 36 volts. Has six 6-volt batteries wired in series. But interestingly, once I put it all back together and cleaned it up the best I could, it didn't run. So thank God for YouTube. There's a fellow on YouTube has a whole series of articles on how to troubleshoot an EzGo with this precision drive system. Well, the first thing I had to do was charge the batteries. And this is the battery charger that she had. Believe it or not, this thing is $1,800. I don't get it. It's old school technology, big transformer. The thing weighs about 20 pounds. But unfortunately, the elements had gotten into it, as did spiders and earwigs, and it doesn't work. There is a fellow on the internet that you can send it to him. He'll rebuild it for about $300. But a little research showed that modern technology has taken over. This charger that I bought off Amazon for, I don't know, $150 is inverter based. It has the same output as that big giant charger, but it certainly doesn't cost $1,800, and it's doing a fabulous job. Another thing that I installed on this unit is a battery meter. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard to see. But this shows with the click of the button, you can turn it off. It'll show battery percentage, which is important, and it shows voltage. Right now it's charging. Normally it would be around 38 volts. Because it's charging, it's at 42 volts. I couldn't get the lights to work, so I found out that it was a bad switch. Now the lights work. Forward and reverse is electronic on this particular golf cart. Most golf carts have a lever down here between the seats that you have to flip. This is so much more convenient. Now, when I finally got it working, I took it out for a ride. I could only get it to go about 5 miles an hour, really slow. And coming up the hill near my house, it barely made it. So I did some more searching with a volt-ohm meter. And sure enough, way down at the bottom of the controller, which is this box over here, there's a Molex connector. And I just touched it and one of the wires came loose. So I had to rebuild that connector. And then I found that I had bad connections going into the solenoid. Took it all apart, cleaned them, put it all back together. And now, in the stock configuration, it goes 15 miles an hour. But in that controller, if you jump out a couple of wires, you can get this thing going almost 25 miles an hour. And let me tell you, 25 miles an hour in this little buggy, you feel like you're going 150. It's actually a little scary. Mostly my grandson's going to use it. He's taken up golf. And he's going to leave it over at the country club. And I'll leave it at 14 miles an hour for him. He's first year of high school, so I don't want him to get hurt. But it's a nice golf cart. I'll be taking it up to New Hampshire this weekend for the New Hampshire State Championship. Never used a golf cart or any type of conveyance at one of these events, so this will be interesting. And we'll see how these batteries work. I'm still a little suspect on the batteries. Although they were on a trickle charger for a couple of years, it wasn't a good trickle charger. And unless you're using an Optimate charger, nothing else matters. The only chargers to ever use on your batteries are Optimates. All others suck, period. So we'll see how these batteries work, and if they don't work out, I'm going to pull them all out and convert this golf cart to lithium. Lithium cuts the weight down by, almost 200 pounds less battery weight, which by itself will increase the speed and the maneuverability. Plus, lithium batteries charge much, much faster, and the voltage stays constant throughout the use range. These batteries are going to start out at 38 volts. The minute you start using them, they're going to go to 36, 35, 34, 32. They just continuously drop off because they're lead-acid batteries. Lithium batteries are going to start out at around 40 volts, 41.8, I believe, and they're going to stay there until they die. The other thing, these batteries, you can only really use them to 50%. If you deplete them more than 50%, every time you do that, you limit the life of the battery. Lithium batteries, you can take them down to 0. We don't recommend taking them down below 10%, but for the same amount of amp hours, you're going to get nearly twice the usable current out of lithium. And the cost of lithium has crashed tremendously. Right now, you can buy an entire battery pack for this EzGo TXT for about $700. A couple of years ago, it would have been $3,000 or more. So anyways, that's the project for this week. Got it all running. Nice little cart. Thanks for watching.